So, Bo the Fifth Column just made a video called Let's Talk About UK, Palestine, and a Signal. You know? The factor that there's looking for a pathway to peace, that's definitely a smart idea. You know? So, considering the laundry list of concerns in general, after everything that's happened, because ultimately, how is it, prospectively, you gotta look at it in the circumstance of how could there be any good faith conversations about a pathway to peace and understanding there are other options, yes. But how do you negotiate with somebody when they've showed that the only thing that they know how to do is tactically go ahead and be like, oh, I'm going to make a business. My business is going to be a Trojan horse factory. And the only thing I'm going to do is fill those Trojan horses with misery. And we're going to go ahead and present it to you in malicious compliance. Ultimately, it doesn't make for good faith negotiations in general. Like, let's say there was somebody trying to negotiate with me with my circumstance, considering the factor of the amount of malicious compliance and tortious interference and, the amount of intentional interference and coercive control in my circumstance that there's been. Like, if I was trying to negotiate on the way to move forward with my circumstance, there are a few things that would have to be absolute non-starters, that would have to be incapabilities of being able to be removed from the packaged deal, since constantly trying to bundle up everything. First off, fixing the issue of mobility, ultimately needing to be able to get around and no longer trying to control the way that I get around in the first place. Driver's license reinstated. Vehicle, actual reliable vehicle. As well as a long-term way for maintenance. Now, when I say that, what I mean is, yes, I learned how to be able to fix a vehicle throughout the years. It does not mean that I should have to constantly be the one to be fixing my vehicle on a constant basis, because the only thing that mattered was somebody else wanted to control how the fuck what's in my pocket and what's in my wallet ends up going to, because predatory greed. That would be the start. Another factor would be actual place, permanent residence that would not have to perpetually have somebody looming the tumultuousness of homelessness right in front of me constantly and be like, nah, we could take your stability at any fucking time because fuck you, deal with it. Like I said, that would be the start. Another factor would be no more trying to control and dictate my food intake. No more trying to control who I surround myself with, who I end up being friends with. No more trying to control what I put into my body in general. No more trying to be like, oh, no, like, oh, why won't you quit smoking? Why won't you quit smoking? Because fuck you, I don't wanna. Just fuck you, I don't wanna. Not to mention that, living somewhere where I can legally get my weed and be able to afford my weed and not have anybody constantly, perpetually condemning me for it. Not to mention that, no more of this moral outrage and outcry bullshit. No more perpetual threats of, nah, understand at this point the reason that you're even allowed to exist or even live is because we decided that we don't want to deal with the potential criminality of going ahead and trying to fucking kill you. Because the amount of times that we've tried to fucking kill you, that you survived, ultimately it's starting to make us look really fucking ineffective. Those would be, just the starting point. Those would be the non-negotiable, non-removable starts. So, and understand when the permanent residency factor ends up coming in, means a home, a legitimate home that nobody would be able to try to take me out of. No one will be able to try to chase me out of. No one will come in and try to fucking control what the rules of my home and my domain would end up being. Being able to live by my own rules. And nobody trying to come in and trying to be as petty as fucking possible. Trying to piss in my cornflakes on a constant basis. Those would be the starting points. As well as no more fucking with my capability of being able to financially be able to enjoy life. So, those are non-negotiable starting points. From there, terms and conditions would be able to be negotiated on, but they would have to be negotiated on in good faith.